We're gonna react to Layne Norton's PHAT workout program, and we're gonna start right now. Now, a lot of people have asked me recently, what do you think about Layne Norton's PHAT program? And the reason being is that typically when people will ask me about nutrition questions, I'll respond with, I think Layne Norton's probably one of the best with nutrition. I think Alan Aragon might be one of the best with nutrition. To a point, Rhonda Patrick, also fantastic as far as nutrition is concerned. Especially when I'm talking about Layne Norton, I think that he does a really good job calling people out and just at times attacking people for saying ridiculous things. And so some people have hit me up, yo, what do you think about this PHAT workout program? So we're gonna dive into what the PHAT workout program is. It's power hypertrophy adaptive training. And I like this right here. It says, is an intermediate level workout routine that combines elements of powerlifting and bodybuilding. One of the funniest parts I thought was if you wanna look aesthetic without being weak. There's a picture of Layne here, and I'm fairly certain he has said he has not used drugs. I would want to see, he looks huge here. I feel like that might've been doctored up a little bit. He looks enormous in this. Now, I don't think he has used drugs because it doesn't look absurdly big, but that picture is crazy. Now, I did want to point that out. So we're looking at, it's a 5-day split that involves training each muscle group twice per week. So we did a video on Lulu where we talked about doing lower body, upper body, lower body, upper body. I'm assuming off the bat, it's gonna be pretty similar. I wanna check this out because it's gonna be about a 90-minute workout. It's gonna be 5 days per week, and it's gonna be something that you do for 4 weeks, okay? So if we get into this, right? He's got this laid out where you go day 1 goes all the way across, day 2 goes all the way across, day 3. So let's go day by day, check this out, and then let's see what we think. So the first day is gonna be that bench press day. Bench press with a barbell, 3 sets of 5, 70%. That's in week 1. Pull-ups, 2 sets of 10 weighted. Then you go chest supported row, 2 sets of 10. Dips weighted, 2 sets of 6 to 10. Penlay row, 3 sets of 5. Seated shoulder press with dumbbells, 3 sets of 6 to 10. Bicep curl with a barbell, 3 sets of 6 to 10. Skull crusher, 3 sets of 6 to 10. I'm assuming these are all just sort of done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. I wanted to look at this here. I don't know, something might be up with our actual layout. I'm trying to figure out at the bottom of the screen how to get this up there. But it looks like by week 3, you increase to 77.5% on bench. My first criticism is that I'm a big fan of supersets. I like supersets. I also like a lot of sets. Bench press, 3 sets, pull-ups, 2 sets. Yeah, it's a unique layout where it's like press, pull, pull, press, pull, press, pull, press. So I'm just trying to think about what that day 1 layout. It's not a bad day 1. You're gonna get stronger on this. I like to add in, and I would take like 1 or 2 exercises out of day 1 and probably just add like 5 or 6 sets across the board. Bench press 5 to 6 sets. Now, still not a bad workout. Maybe a little bit high on the overall exercise choice. Great exercise selection, maybe a little bit high on the total number of exercises. Day 2, so this is gonna be a back squat with a barbell, 3 sets of 3 to 5, 70%, that's pretty easy. Hack squat, 2 sets of 10, leg extensions, 2 sets of 10, stiff-legged deadlift, 2 sets of 8, leg curl, 2 sets of 10, standing calf raises, seated calf raises. This is a pretty standard, I'd say, periodized program. And again, this is a free template. So you're looking at something that he's putting out there. He wants you to download this. Exercise selections, good movement. I think the hack squat is one of the hardest exercises to do in the gym, and it blows up my quads specifically when I do it. I get such a crazy pump in my quads. Leg extensions, I've always liked to do leg extensions for like sets of 20, just because I feel like a much better pump. Stiff-legged deadlift, 3 sets of 8. I guess my question would be, it's like 3 sets on the squats, 2 sets on the hack squat leg extension, and then you go back to 3 sets on the stiff-legged deadlift. And I would wonder why that is. Standing calf raise, seated calf raise. I always thought too, seated calf raise, I felt like you could do more reps because you are seated. It's a little bit easier, but you can see sort of builds you up throughout the weeks, leading into that higher intensity at that 3 sets of 5, 77.5%. Day 3, okay, so on day 3, you're gonna get Penlay row again, which you have also on day 1. Then you get bent over row, seated row, chest supported row, which you also have on day 1, but at higher reps, lat pull down, seated shoulder press, which you also have, upright row, and lateral raise. My assumption here is that day 3 is gonna be more upper back, upper shoulder, rear shoulder work. This is a day, and this has more reps here where we're doing like 3 sets of 12, 2 sets of 15, 2 sets of 20, 3 sets of 12, 3 sets of 20 lateral raise. I love, especially for the physique day, you know, and remember too, the whole goal is that we wanna look aesthetic, not be weak. So we wanna get a good pump on these days. And the Pendlay row being 6 sets of 3, that was a complaint I had earlier, was that there wasn't enough sets. Well, now we got 6 sets of 3 on Pendlay row. So that sort of takes care of that relative to that day 1. You're probably gonna be doing some pretty decent weight with the Pendlay row. He has 65%. I'm assuming 65% of your best Pendlay row. I've actually never seen percentages for Pendlay row, so that's interesting. Bent over row with dumbbells. I love that exercise. This day 3 workout is all movements that give me an absurd pump. And I would love, you know, this is a really solid build out. I think most people would get a good pump off of this, especially any rows. I've always felt like just thicken me up and make my biceps and lats swole. So this is gonna be a good workout. Now, the interesting part here is that day 4, we're getting into squat 6 triples, lighter intensity. So it's like 65%. So this would be, it almost reminds me a little bit of like conjugate, where you might do like 1, 2, 3, rest, 1, 2, 3, rest with a short rest period. Again, only 65% intensity. It builds up to 67.5 later on. You're still probably just focusing on that speed work. You're adding in more volume then to the hack squat, leg press, leg extension. Right there. Remember, aesthetics here, hack squat, leg press, leg extension. Those are 3 lifts in a row that are gonna blow your quads up and are freaking awesome. So this is a pretty simple layout that throughout the weeks, then you're gonna get 2 hamstrings or 3 hamstring exercises and then 2 calf raises. My criticism here would be probably still a little bit, these are great exercises, but I'd probably take away some of those exercises, and then I would play around with the supersetting a little bit differently. I would also maybe focus a little bit more, well, maybe not on the quad part there, but I would go like leg press with like a leg curl, leg extension with a lying leg curl, or like leg press with a Romanian deadlift that's a little bit lighter, something like that. Maybe I wouldn't do that. I'm just trying to think through how I would lay that out, but I would go squats there, right? And then I'd go probably, it's just a sort of a strange layout. Great exercises, a little bit of a strange layout. Now, day 5, bench press with dumbbells, 6 triples. And I'm assuming that the intensity there would be 75% or at 7.5, unless that's like reps in reserve, or not reps in reserve, RPE. Incline bench press with a barbell. That's an interesting setup there. That might be too where it's like, okay, let's do incline bench with dumbbells, go a little bit heavier, and then follow it up with like drop sets of barbells just to get a crazy pump in the upper chest. You know, you did a lot of back work on day 3. So this is where we're doing a lot of pecs and triceps. With the incline work, we're getting some cable flies, great way to get a pump. Preacher curl, concentration curl, spider curl. One of the most underutilized bicep builders is spider curls. So I love the fact that that's in there. Cambered bar tricep extension, cable kickbacks, tricep pushdowns. So tons of tricep there at the end. That's where I was complaining about maybe taking out some of those exercises, but you're still getting about 7 tricep sets there. And then you're getting those preacher curl, concentration curl, spider curls. I would probably actually make like a big set. So you got 6 exercises there. I would honestly probably do a big set where you go back and forth just for fun, like 2 to 3 sets straight through, minimal breaking. Great exercises there. I'm looking at some of these reviews. I love reading these reviews. So again, fat training program, Monday, upper body power, Tuesday, lower body power, and then you're gonna get into hypertrophy stuff later on in the week. Lays out Wednesday would be a rest day. So I think that this is one of those workouts, it reminds me of like one of the first things that I did back in high school, like when I first started to go to the bodybuilding gym and start to lift. I was still, you know, snatching and cleaning and squatting, and then I would do like classic bodybuilding stuff, a lot of this stuff here. Again, my criticism, this is also, let's just be clear, he's giving this away for free. This is a really, really good starting point. If you get this for free and you do this for 4 weeks, you're gonna realize like this is a good jumping off point. My criticism, a lot of exercises, some weird set layouts. I like to superset a little bit more. I like to do more sets and I like to do more drop sets. But again, this is something that he's giving away for free. So is it something that you can do? You could do this workout for the next 4 weeks and you're gonna get some big time gains. You're gonna get some big time pumps, especially on the back end, on that hypertrophy, that third day where you're doing more back work, and then that last 2 days, I guarantee you're gonna get big time pumps. So this is something that you can really use to stimulate your growth and to use as a transition point into figuring out, like, do I want to keep focusing on aesthetics or do I want to focus more on a little bit more strength? This is that workout that you can use. I still believe Layne Norton is one of the greatest resources that you can use for nutrition. Puts out a lot of great content, calls out a lot of people, can be very entertaining because he's so to the point and very precise with his nutritional information. So check this out on the boostcamp.app website. You can see Layne Norton's PHAT program, or head over to peakstrength.app, the Google Play Store, the Apple iOS Store. You can pick up Peak Strength today. You can go in and build out a program very similar to this that's going to also have some weightlifting derivatives to help you become a freak. Because remember, freaks, if you want to become a champion, you've always got to cultivate your power. Peace.